from what I hear, Ankalaev saying he's gonna strike with him, and I'm saying if Ankalaev decides to take the route of just completely standing up, not mixing in any wrestling to keep Pereira wrestling, like guessing, I'm not seeing how Ankalaev wins this fight. And I'm not saying Ankalaev can't strike. But there is a difference when both these guys hit men. When both these guys hit another human being, it is different. When Pereira hits guys, I don't know what's in those fists. And it's the Powhatan jungle Amazonian power where he connects. These guys just turn to fairy.
Bro, it's that voodoo shit he's doing.
Apparently.
That's what it is. That's the only explanation.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of the Weekly Scraps. And guess what? UFC 313 is among us. It is going to be a great card. This is a stack card. We're actually just going through it just now. It is huge. A lot of fun fights. And I'm excited to see how these fights shake out.
Daddy.
It's going to be good, man.
Yo, bro, you're not the star of the show.
I'm not.
It's all about me today.
It is. I was actually going to tell you that.
It's the Weekly Scraps with guest star Aljamain Sterling.
I think that one actually has a really good name, like ring to it.
The Weekly Scraps with Jake Fine featuring Aljamain Sterling.
I like that.
I think that's what they want too. Like
that is 100% what the people in the comments have been saying. Yeah, can we just talk about how I don't know what it is, but somehow you're just not liked. They're like, yo, your podcast would grow if you get someone more knowledgeable. I'm like, damn.
I think that's true though.
Do you think so?
I mean, if you had like another UFC fighter who people know, obviously that's better than having me on. like for a UFC podcast, like. But like, I think
I like the difference.
I do. Okay, all the UFC fighters who watch the podcast, they tell me that they think I do a good job because it like brings out a different side of you.
Yes.
Versus if it was just two nerds talking about fighting, like not that you guys are nerd, you know what I mean? Like two people
just
who are
nerding out with fights.
Versus like me, like I'm kind of like I'm not always like.
I think it's fun. I don't know, I don't have an issue with it. If you were like just a complete bonehead, I would just be like, yeah, maybe we gotta go in a different direction. But I mean, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah. Plus, like we've been boys for a while, so I feel like.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Alex Pereira taking on Magomed Ankalaev. Finally, Ankalaev getting his fair shake at this, getting his title shot opportunity again. So we got to be fair because he did get a title shot before. It just wasn't great.
It wasn't a good fight. But before that, he was he was exciting.
He was.
Like, he had some sick
he is.
fight. He has a cool style. He's not just, like, Khabibing these guys, you know?
Yeah, I think just that one title shot opportunity. It kind of reminded me of my first title fight with Jan. Had that not ended in a DQ, I would be in the Ankalaev boat, meaning I just wouldn't be getting another title shot no matter how many fights I was winning.
Yeah.
Because they would just be like, nah, we're just not using that guy again.
Exactly. Like, bro, like, UFC fans, it's like one thing happens that they don't like, and, like, you just lose your aura forever. Like, there's no reclaiming it. They just stop fucking with you overall. Like, this, like, before that, I thought he was, like, next up, to be honest.
He should have been after that split draw that they had against Blachowicz. That was in 2022.
Yeah, we were in Jamaica
December.
watching that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right. And then he had a no contest with Johnny Walker. He fought Johnny Walker again, KO'd him. And then he had the weird one with Johnny Walker where they asked him, where are you? He said the desert. They stopped the fight.
Bro, like, that
wrong.
Anyone else does that is like, that's like put on little TikTok clips forever. Like if Justin Gaethje knocked someone out and they were like, yeah, I'm in the desert. Like he was there with tweaking like that. That would be like everyone would like dick ride him forever for that like moment. But like Ankalaev does it and no one talks about it anymore. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough. And then he also beat Rakic. So I think the Rakic fight was a pretty good one. And I think that put him back in a good spot. Even if it wasn't Ramadan, if he said he couldn't take the fight because of Ramadan, I don't know who else they would even throw in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's kind of cleared out the division.
So here's a talking point. People are saying that Ankalaev is only getting this shot because it's Ramadan and the cards are stacked against him.
Do you agree?
I don't know if that's. I think the dates just happen to work out like that, and I think it's fair for people to realize not the whole world doesn't revolve around Ramadan.
That's what I was gonna ask you next. Like,
So-
should guys get that excuse that like, oh, it's Ramadan, I can't fight?
But it's not an excuse. It's if it's your religion, it's what you practice. That's on you. It's not on the whole world to exercise what you believe in.
Yeah.
So if an opportunity comes and it happens to be the time period where it's not ideal to compete, it's that the UFC's fault? I don't think so.
I don't either. I feel like we're kind
Well,
of
I know
phasing
so.
out of that, like being a legit excuse.
And you know who else took it during Ramadan that I remember? Bilal.
Yeah.
And he looked damn good.
Yeah. Also, it's not like it's not, from what I know, it's like they can only eat at night.
Sundown.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay,
from,
so it's like
from
you're cutting weight
sunrise to
anyway.
sundown.
Like, you're already not eating that much to begin with. Like, I just don't understand, like, why can't you train? Why can't you get ready for a fight on that?
Yeah, it would just be really hard to do a morning session because if you have a really tough workout and then you can't eat and you can't drink water. I was told last night at dinner because one of the managers, Yasim, he's actually Muslim. So I was asking, I said Happy Ramadan. I don't know if that's a correct term. I remember I said Happy Memorial Day, and then people were like, it's not like you don't say Happy Memorial Day. You know, you just say, you just acknowledge it. Like, thank you for your service. We recognize Memorial Day. Like the correct term.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, it's not really something you celebrate. You're not saying happy. It's just a day of recognition.
Sure.
I was like,
okay.
I never thought about it like that. I just thought that's Happy Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. Like we just say happy. So I was like, I don't know. Do I say Happy Ramadan or just like have a good Ramadan?
I don't know. I mean, Eid Mubarak, what does that mean? Like,
I don't know
yeah.
the exact.
That's like what I see
definition.
everyone posting. But
Yeah. But when I was saying that to him, he was just saying from sunrise to sunset, when the sun goes down is when they can start eating. And, can't to when they can.
I could see how that would be tough.
Yeah, so the morning sessions could not be fun.
I mean, would you even do them?
The morning session, no.
Yeah, like
I mean, if I was a diehard, I would say I'm a Christian, but if I was if I was Muslim, if I was a diehard Muslim, like practice every single thing, it would be really tough
now
to do that.
If they start making these guys fight during Ramadan, or they just start like if guys start fighting during Ramadan.
Yeah, I would say it's not like they're making them no. It's they're
It's
not
just
fighting during Ramadan.
Right, but like the UFC kind of, I feel like, gives them a pass for that a lot of times. Like they rushed the Umar fight with Merab because Ramadan was coming up. They've never made Khabib fight during Ramadan.
Allegedly, that was the reasoning.
Well, yeah. Ankalaev, they don't really like him, so I think they're not. Like, same with Bilal. Like, the guys they like, it seems like they don't have to fight during Ramadan, but like the guys they're not as big of a fan of, they end up fighting during Ramadan. So I'm wondering, like, do those guys actually still follow the
all the protocols,
the rules, or is there an exception when you're?
I mean, only them and
I'm
Allah.
curious.
Only them and Allah would know when they're in that house by themselves and no one's around watching.
I mean, I do feel like if you're training twice a day, unless you're doing like midnight sessions or some shit. Like,
I was talking about this with somebody, and one of the Muslim guys was saying like how they, like this was like a story, and they would eat, and then later on they have to pretend that they're starving when they went out in public, because they had to be like, pretend they were really thirsty, really hungry, and just like acting, So I'm just laughing like, yo, this is actually hysterical, in the sense of like, damn, you have to do all that just to make sure that you're keeping up with the faith, So
I could see how that would be hard though, unless like you literally
it's really hard.
Change your because like
you do all your training
pretty
at
much
night.
can only train once.
Yeah, or unless you train late at night, then you have a crazy binge, and then you have enough calories to kind of get you through the day, and then you're in the ketone phase.
I guess if you just start waking up mad early while it's still technically nighttime, then you eat, then like a few hours later you go train, but then you still can't.
Either way, it's hard.
It's fucked.
I'm fully acknowledging that it's hard. We're
Yeah.
both acknowledging. He's a Jewish man. He's acknowledging that it's hard. So we are not Muslim or Dagestani haters. It's just, we just speak the truth.
Yeah, we're just not dick riders either.
Yeah, and if you don't like, this is the best guy for sure. He's winning his next fight. You're a hater. It's actually the most bizarre thing.
It would be very so so him and Pereira are fighting. If Pereira beats him,
That's gonna be the excuse.
no, I don't
No,
think.
that's not Ankalaev's excuse. But that's what people are gonna say. You only won because you fought him during Ramadan. You fought him at a convenient time.
Yeah, but Bilal won during Ramadan,
Yeah,
so
so-
that excuse is washed. Like,
It's a fight, man. Anything can happen.
yeah, but I'm saying like if he does beat him, it's gonna be interesting because it's like the Dagestanis would be kind of on a losing streak, like which is like unheard of.
And stop calling Mosar Dagestani. He's not a Dagestani. He's from Ingushetia. Like,
What is that a country?
I don't know. It's a republic. It's an area. I don't know if it's like a
I've never heard of
Chechnya, Georgia. I don't know if it's a big country like that, but I know
Huh.
it's an area. I would imagine it's a country, like a small country.
But it's like a
Ingushetia,
Russian.
and then there's Ossetia.
Okay, so it's a republic in Russia.
Yeah,
Okay,
but they be beefing.
with Russia.
Ingushetia and Ossetia, apparently.
I'm glad to know this.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Well, I
you-
got a friend from the gym at Law who's from Ossetia, and then we got don't break the cord, bro.
I'm trying to get it.
Give it a little slack. Give it the cord slack. You're bending it. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Or you could just bend it the other way. Yeah.
Pause.
Well, I don't want you to break the. These are expensive mics.
I'm not breaking it.
So just bend it the other way. This
It's
way you
good.
don't have to extend the cord like that.
What do you mean? It's good.
Like
There's
you see
slack.
this bend? You see that elbow right there?
Yeah.
Just bend it up the other way.
Like this?
Yes.
No, but now it's all the way over here.
Yeah. So bend it all the way up. Like you could bend it down 90 degrees the other
Wait,
way.
but hold on. It's not a problem right now.
I'm just looking at the cord. I'm looking at what you're doing. You might plug out the cord. You might tear the cord.
So
Where you-
there's slack.
You could just bend it the other way.
It's good.
And
It's
just
good.
make your life
It's
easier.
good. All right.
Or you could just bend it the other way. Just
Like this?
yes. Wow.
Yeah, but this is like now it's like gay.
Okay. Whatever floats your boat. But either way, I think this is a good matchup. Obviously, we know the striking capability of Alex Pereira. I think from what I hear Ankalaev saying, he's going to strike with him. And I'm saying if Ankalaev decides to take the route of just completely standing up, not mixing in any wrestling to keep Pereira wrestling, like guessing, I'm not seeing how Ankalaev wins this fight. And I'm not saying Ankalaev can't strike. But there is a difference when
Nah,
both these guys hit
yeah.
men. When both these guys hit another human being, it is different. When Pereira hits guys, I don't know what's in those fists. And it's the Powhatan jungle Amazonian power. When he connects, these guys just turn to fairy
Bro, it's
dust.
that voodoo shit he's doing.
Apparently.
That's what
he
it
does
is.
Voodoo.
That's the only explanation.
I don't know.
But yeah, he'll get killed. Uncle Ab.
I don't think it would be good. I think it would be wise if he mixes in the take. I'm not saying you have to solely strike, but I do think he needs to mix in some type of level change fakes, come up with the striking, make him defend the takedowns. This way, when he's respecting the level changes, he can land some clean shots. If it's going to be a straight-up kickboxing match like it was with Khalil Roundtree and Pereira, I think the odds are in the favor of Pereira for sure. I think that's hard to dispute with anybody. Just watching the track record of both these guys.
Pretty much nobody. I don't think anyone can stand with him.
I mean, they can, but just eventually he starts landing these shots. Even if you're outpointing him, eventually they start to add up, and then guys, he just breaks you, man.
Yeah.
It's just he just hits so damn hard. I cannot imagine getting hit by that guy.
Bro, I mean, even Khalil Roundtree was doing really well, but then it just fucking. There's just a moment where he hits you with something, and then it's just over.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, dude. This is bothering me.
What?
This mic is bothering me
Why?
because you look ridiculous. Here we go.
This is what it's like working with Aljo.
There we go. Now you can
Nah,
chill.
because I don't want it to focus on this.
It's gonna focus on you and that pretty face. All right, I had to do that. I like OCD.
Am I good here? Jesus.
Yes.
Christ.
All right, you're good now. You're good. I was stressing out about the cord. I'm like, yo, last thing I need is for this thing to break, and I got to order another one. It's like, damn, it's a pain in the ass.
All right, but so Pereira issued a bet to Ankalaev.
I love it.
Did you see this?
Love it.
He was like, "Put your money where your mouth is." What was it? 200,000.
200,000 to a charity of their choice.
Now I think that's a little unfair
Why?
because Ankalaev is probably making like just about 200,000, give or take a few dollars.
Oh, whose fault is that?
So to ask the man to bet the entire bag is crazy. Like Pereira's probably making 3 million, 4 million.
Ankalaev is at least making 400,000 or 500,000 flat for this. I would imagine.
I doubt it.
As a title challenger.
Bro, I doubt that.
I am speaking from what I made as a title challenger in my contract.
In your first fight?
In my first title fight as a title challenger.
How much did you make?
Jan fight.
I'll bleep it out.
He would make more than what I made.
I don't know, bro.
He would make more than what I made. It's like standard contract now. It's not even like you have to negotiate it in. The UFC, I think from what I see now, from when I'm speaking to people, we all have collectively agreed that everyone has that same base.
So flat
rate, yeah.
So 500,000. You're guessing.
I'm guessing because he's a bigger guy, at least half.
So
400 at a minimum, I would say. If he's getting what we get as bantamweights, I think that's kind of crazy. Generally, the bigger guys get paid more than us. That's just fact. For whatever reason.
That's weird, actually.
Why? Because they're bigger than us?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's like weird. Like
it is weird.
Kind of doesn't make sense. I guess they probably bring in.
It's like
more
inequality,
viewers.
right? It's like inequality, like women.
It's kind of
and men.
Yeah, like a pay gap, like a wage gap.
We should talk to them about this, right?
We should boycott the UFC.
We should talk to them about this.
I think if we boycott, we'll make a change.
We ain't changing shit.
Bro, anyway, so Pereira issues him this fucking crazy bet, 200,000, put it up, charity of choice. Ankalaev responds by saying, like, we don't need to do this in public. Like, we can be charitable behind the scenes, but to do it in public is corny. Basically, he said no.
Well,
do you think
he
that
said because he's Muslim, they're not like allowed to bet.
Well,
but I don't think this is like it's a bet, but it's not
really,
like you're not gambling. You're like
it's like
a gentleman's challenge. You're already gambling by fighting. Because that's the gamble,
isn't it? Yeah, like isn't it? So if Pereira loses, he'll donate 200,000.
I think yes, or vice versa.
To Ankalaev's charity of choice.
If Pereira loses, yes.
So it's like, I mean, I would think if you think you're gonna win, you take that bet, right?
You're already thinking that you're gonna win by fighting.
Yeah.
That's already the bet.
So what do you think of him saying, like, basically saying no?
I think he doesn't want it to appear to Muslim people that they're gambling. But I think the thought process on it is a little bit silly because you already are gambling by fighting. The thought of you're gambling by you fight, you make more money, usually you double your purse. That's a gamble. So what is the actual what is the difference? In my opinion, I don't think there's any difference. I think you're already gambling.
Yeah.
Now you're gambling for a good cause versus I'm gambling because I'm just trying to make money.
Yeah,
that's literally what you're doing. We're always gambling,
and
hoping
like either way, the bet is 200,000 goes to charity. So it's like if you win or lose, you're still. It's not like, I guess you're not losing.
Yeah, this gives me the hiccups every time. I think it's this flavor though.
It could be.
But I think I'm leaning towards. If Ankalaev wrestles, I lean towards Ankalaev. If he does not wrestle, and I'm not saying Alex Pereira has no wrestling. I mean, Blachowicz is a very good, well-rounded fighter, solid grappling, and he went toe-to-toe with him. I don't even think he took him down, Ankalaev. So,
yeah,
obviously you can't do MMA math, but you could get a pretty good idea of where the skill set is at. Alex Pereira has had plenty of time to work on his grappling. You could say each training camp has been strikers. Okay, cool. But for the most part, guys are knowingly, like people know his kryptonite is grappling if there's a way to beat him. So I think he's gotten better in the grappling department.
Pereira's coach said that he's been grappling for 3 years since he got into the UFC, and he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu now.
I think he's trolling.
Yeah, that's like bullshit.
He's trolling. Glover is trolling with that one, or who is it? Cruz Polino, the big guy.
I don't know his name, but
the big guy said that, right?
The big guy.
So Cruz. I think he's definitely trolling. But either way, it's gonna be a fun fight. Ankalaev is finally getting his chance, and I'm happy about that. I'm always the guy about merit. The guy that deserves to get the next shot should get the next shot. I've said this about Mosar. I don't give a shit if it was that he beat me or he beat somebody else that was ranked higher. At the end of the day, you beat someone, you're the highest ranked guy, you should get the next crack. That's the way I would love to see things go. I understand it's a business. I understand it's entertainment. I understand people want to see fights that they want to see. But it's fucking annoying when you work so hard and you get passed over for some other guy because they have a funny hair color or they have tattoos on their face,
Right.
or because they're quote unquote more active. At the end of the day, you could be more active, but if you're more active against guys who are in the top 5 or top 10, who gives a shit? If that's what it is, then get rid of the rankings and just make it a popularity contest. At least we know where we stand.
I think rankings play like a small part in it, but so does how popular you are.
That's for of course. But that's for I think the rankings are just to show people like, well, this guy's ranked this, so it's a really good fight because he's now in the top 5.
Yeah, it gives you more like storylines.
Yeah,
basically.
to sell to the public.
Yeah, but they can manipulate that too. Like they could put anyone in. They can make someone a higher ranked fighter than they deserve to be.
Prime example, Mosar beat Arnold Allen in February. Then he fought me. But before he fought me, Mosar was ranked top 5. And somehow Allen jumped ahead of him in the rankings, went up a spot. Mosar went down a spot. And they put Mosar at 6. But Mosar just beat him. And I'm just over here like,
that's weird.
You guys are making my head hurt.
Like how?
Trying to understand the thought process here.
Wait, who did Allen beat to jump up?
He didn't even fight.
So what?
Yes. This is the stuff that I have a gripe with.
Yeah,
a
that
massive
doesn't
gripe.
make sense.
This is why I get annoyed where I'm like, yo, my stance is my stance. I'm never going to change my stance. I think the guy, meritocracy, the next guy in line should get the shot because you jam up the division where this guy keeps winning. He keeps beating other guys who are on win streaks. Yeah, you're trying to get him hit so that he loses, but if he keeps winning, you're killing off really good contenders who could have a really good streak going into a potential title shot situation where now you got this guy who's on a 4-fight win streak, 6-fight win streak, but instead you just killed him off because you don't want to give this guy a title shot. That's where it gets annoying for me.
Yeah. I mean, fair.
But whatever. I think Ankalaev finally gets his shot. And if he wrestles, I can't see how he loses. And I'm not saying wrestle like he has to take him down. Wrestling by pushing him against the cage, slowing him down, getting him tired, then making the striking matchup a little bit more competitive in terms of the power department. Because you grapple him, you lose some of that. But if you just sit up there and let him have all the pop on his punches for 25 minutes, you let him connect and start going to the body with that jab, doof, and then you start throwing and he slips and comes back, boom, boom. Bro, it's Pereira all day.
I think he needs to get him down early.
I don't think he actually got to get him down. I think he just needs to get his arm filled with blood from wrestling. That's it. Slow him down, push him against the cage, knee his legs.
We've seen Pereira defend takedowns before.
Of course.
And I don't think Ankalaev is the most. I know he's from Dagestan, but he's not like
He's
as
not
much of a
Islam.
savage at wrestling.
Yeah, he's not Umar. He's not Islam. He's a good wrestler, though, for a big guy.
Yeah.
I think people are thinking because he's from Dagestan, his wrestling is just, oh, my God, it's elite. But he's a solid grappler for that division.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he has to try and wrestle to beat Pereira, but I don't think him wrestling equals him winning necessarily.
So you think Pereira wins no matter what, even if he does wrestle?
No, like I think he could win even if Ankalaev does actually try to wrestle still. Because like I think Pereira's probably harder to take down than people think.
Of course.
Even
he's tall, lanky.
like I know he's defended takedowns against other guys, but like this guy is probably a different level. But even still, I think he's gonna be hard to take down. He's a fucking dense human being, and like I'm sure he's been training this the past 3 years. Like I don't think he's sleeping on like the takedown defense. You know.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do fight reactions for this too.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I kind of want to do like a fight companion where everyone just gets bombed.
That would be hilarious.
That'd actually be fun.
But you got to stream it.
Yeah, we'd have to figure that out. I got all the stuff that we would need to do that. It's just,
Oh yeah.
the tech stuff for me sometimes it could be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm tech savvy, but not that tech savvy.
Yeah.
It's a little
I
bit
mean,
of
it's
work.
not that hard. If you set it up early enough, you should be fine. Also, Watto probably knows.
Yeah.
And
So
some-
maybe we figure it out. Maybe get Marab over here. Get the boys in the house. The boys.
That would be sick.
But I'm going with Um, I'm leaning towards Pereira, man. I just think
Yeah, me
Pereira's just
too.
got this. He's just got this mojo about him right now. I think he's hard to beat, and I'm going by Ankalaev's words. I'm going to outstrike him, and I'm not saying Ankalaev can't strike, but it's just different when one of these guys connects versus the other, and they're both big dudes. So of course the power, but I just think Pereira just hits different, and if they get into some striking exchanges where Pereira can slip and rip and start landing some of those punches, oh my goodness, it's gonna be a fun fight no matter who wins. But it would be nice to see Ankalaev get his hand raised from just all the adversity, the draw, having to come back, then right into a no contest and having to wait again, and then getting a win, getting passed over. I like stories like that, underdog story. Ankalaev Pereira has a sick story, I think too. So
Oh yeah. I mean,
look at the guy, he's a Chama, man.
dude, he's the biggest star in the UFC right now.
He is, right? I think
Oh.
the most followed. No. Ilya beat him. We looked that up.
Yeah, no, but I still think Pereira's like he's not the most followed guy, but I still think he's the biggest like star. Like,
Yeah.
Like he's memed more. He's like all over. Like I just think he's like more talked about than anyone right now who's active.
He's the most active champ.
Yeah, dude, he's probably made so much money in the past like 3 years.
His life has changed.
Like
Chama.
he went from like probably not any money at all. Really, he's a kickboxer.
Well, he was working in the tire shop as a mechanic.
But that was like early. I'm saying like right when he got to the UFC. I don't think he was working at the tire shop. Maybe if he was, that's even crazier.
I mean, crazier things have happened. Unless they gave him a crazy debut signing bonus or something, because he came in. He had a big name.
I just don't. I don't know when he like crossed over and just became like the guy.
The Izzy fight. To have that storyline and then Izzy doing what he did, and then for him to beat Izzy is just.
I honestly felt like, oh, this dude is such a beast. When he went up a weight class and became champion again, that's when I was like, oh. Like,
He beat who'd he beat?
Because
Jerry, right?
Until then, he had the one crazy knockout against Izzy, but like he also got knocked out by Izzy. So I was like, I didn't think he had like the most insane aura.
Wait, he knocked out Strickland.
No, I'm saying I'm saying in like important fights, I guess. Like
That was an important fight. That gave him the title shot.
okay, so he had the Strickland knockout and then Izzy.
But he had knockouts before that too.
No, I know. I'm saying
He was just leaving dead bodies everywhere.
I'm saying like I wasn't that high on him as like an MMA fighter, I guess.
I don't think anybody was.
Like Strickland was like, I'm gonna fucking stand up with you. It's like, okay, well, you're gonna get clapped. Like, obviously. Izzy, like him going against Izzy and knocking Izzy out, I was like, okay, that's pretty impressive. But it like this could be kind of like a fluke because Izzy was winning that whole fight.
It was.
And then until the last minute. And then
The ultimate equalizer, man.
then Izzy knocked him out. So I was like, all right.
That's why
that
I
was a
would-
cool like he had a cool run, but like
Yeah, that's why the John Jones fight with who I'm thinking. Aspinall's so interesting. Is that the one I was thinking?
Aspinall?
No. John Jones versus Francis Ngannou.
Oh yeah.
Because power is just the ultimate equalizer, and that's what makes that fight. Because John Jones could be winning the fight the whole time, and then Ngannou could just land one shot that's just like, damn.
And also like John has to get close to him.
Of course.
And you're telling me Francis isn't gonna land one? That's just like
That was just the fight that got away, man.
Dude.
It's like Brock Lesnar versus who was it at the time?
Cain Velasquez?
Brock and Kane. No, he fought Kane. Kane put the beats on him.
Really?
I think Brock and Fedor was the fight that they were trying to make.
Yeah.
That would have been just insane.
That's crazy how Dana thinks because like most people think like I just feel like if I was running the UFC and I had like Francis and John on the table, I'm just gonna make it happen. Like I'm not gonna let that opportunity pass. But Dana will just let it go. And like he's still fine. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah. He had the opportunity to do it, but for whatever reason. But I'm going Pereira. And not saying Ankalaev can't win. I just think, based on what they both have done in the sport so far, a guy riding this type of momentum, I think he's hard to beat. And I think Pereira thinks he's Timothy right now. So
Wait, c- do you think Pereira's like taking it seriously? Because that's kind of a narrative that
Oh, DC was saying that shit.
like he's traveling, he's doing Instagram shit, like
He was doing that shit before.
he's like loving the. I honestly do feel like he's a little more like out and about now.
Yeah, but it could be people posting for him. He could have been out and about like that and not posting as much, and then now he's out and about. He's just posting it. Like,
True, but like 3 weeks ago he was in Australia.
okay, there was fights there.
Yeah, but he wasn't fighting. And to go, that's a long ass like in 4 weeks out from a fight. You don't think?
It is, but
Like you don't think that?
did it stop him before?
I don't think he was doing all that before.
We would. I guess we will never really know.
I mean, we would know if he was halfway across the world. Not even all the way across the world. A month before at a UFC fight.
I'm not saying it can't be a factor. It could be a factor for sure. But I would imagine he was still training and doing all the right things. I don't even know if the guy drinks. Like, I haven't seen him. Like, I see him at fights. I don't know if I've ever seen him drinking or he's just stone face.
Yeah. He's probably... Never mind.
But I think either way it's going to be a great fight. I'm glad and I'm happy Ankalaev is getting his fair shake, finally getting a chance, albeit during Ramadan for him. But 1 week into Ramadan, I don't think it's the end of the world. No. He's cutting weight. He would have to be cutting weight anyway. And by default, just by participating in Ramadan. So
yeah,
here we go. He's got an opportunity. The one thing that does suck, though, I don't know how he's going to do the rehydration.
Bro, he's gonna do it however he needs to do it.
I think if he doesn't eat because it's Ramadan, that's crazy.
There's no way he's doing that. Allah's making an exception.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, that's like signing your death wish against Alex Pereira. He will literally like cause irreversible brain damage if you don't rehydrate against him properly.
Bilal did the same, right?
There's no way. Yeah, like, bro.
That would just be insanity. At that point, yeah, that's definitely an advantage. Because, like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah, how do you
cut weight and then
what are you doing
to
make
nighttime?
up for that? Like,
yeah, there's not.
Nah, there's no way. During the weight cut, like, that's a bigger sacrifice than anything he'd be doing. Like, you know,
what's that?
Cutting weight.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, nah. I don't know.
And now we got Fiziev versus Gaethje, the rematch. This is gonna be a bomb burner. The first fight was so good. I watched it a few times. I was just like, damn. When Fiziev fought him, he was running through everybody. I was like, yo, I don't think this man could be stopped at this point.
Yeah.
Because even guys that take him down, he gets back up, and he just puts the beats on you. And it's just like, this guy's a punisher, man. I felt bad for him with his knee when he tore it. Who'd he fight? He fought someone where he got injured. Oh, Gamrot. It's all locked in the vote, people. It's all locked in the vote.
Dude, when Justin Gaethje beat him, I was like, that's impressive to like defend that guy. And
then that's more impressive. What's impressive about that too is like now I'm wondering and I'm curious how Max Holloway would do with a guy like Fiziev. That's just another crazy stylistic matchup. It's just mad, bro, when you think about it. But here we are now, a couple of years later. The one thing I will say is Gaethje is coming off of a very, very bad knockout loss. And I'm kind of wondering where his headspace is at. He's done everything. Yeah. He's fighting another up-and-coming guy. But he's a high-level guy he's shared the cage with before. Can he still be in those barn burner fights and take that type of damage from a guy like Fiziev? Because
especially coming off the max.
I'm coming.
But also Fiziev, it's mad late notice for him. So
true. But I think he was training though. I think he had a fight. I think with somebody. Right?
I don't think. Did he?
No, he didn't. So he had the loss to Gaethje in 2023, and then he fought Gamrot in 2023 also later in September. He had the leg injury, came back from that. This is his first fight back too, so be interesting to see how everything shakes out.
He hasn't been so active.
Part of me has to lean towards Fiziev in this one, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Even on short notice?
Even on short notice. Because I think they're at a crossroads. It's whether or not Gaethje still wants to compete at the highest level. Because I remember him saying, like, this was, like, make or break for him. him and Poirier were like in that same boat.
Yeah, he was saying I'm on one more title run.
Yeah.
And then then that's it. And then he got knocked out by Max.
And then now here's his chance. Can he put himself back into that positioning again? Does he want to? Of course he wants to. He's fighting. But it's like I kind of understand the same. I kind of, what's the word?
Relate?
Relate, but there's another, whatever. I relate to it. I want to use another big word. I want to use an SAT word, but it is what it is. I can relate to this, and I understand the sentiment.
Empathize, maybe? Sorry, I'm just now I'm stuck on it.
No, I know the emotions that he's going through, at least what I think he's going through, and it's a big opportunity. Should he come up short again, I don't know where he goes from here. So this, to me, this is an all or nothing fight for Gaethje, and I'm sure he's given it everything he's got, but it comes down to, can he still take shots? Because that was a bad knockout. What's that recovery like? I've been knocked out like that really bad, but it was also, I think I was 28 at the time.
Yeah.
So it was such a long time ago, and I was also a lot younger. So I feel like I had a little bit more, especially my sparrings aren't back and forth bangers. I'm taking guys down, submitting them.
Also, like, he got a lot. He took a lot of damage in that fight before the last shot that knocked him out.
Yeah.
So like,
there's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So it's like, if he gets rocked, is he still as durable? I don't know. And we know Fiziev is coming with that heat pack.
I don't know. I feel like Justin's gonna win.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just think
It'd be cool. I would be happy to see Justin win again. I just feel like I'm leaning towards Fiziev in this.
So my thing is, like, one, yes, he took a crazy shot, but also he did take like almost a year to recover, like 10 months. And then
last year, April.
Yeah, so February. So yeah, 10 months, and then right now it's March, so really 11 months. And then also their last fight, like, it went down to, like, it was a decision.
Who's?
Fiziev and Gaethje.
Oh yeah.
So like, if it's anything similar to that, I mean, Fiziev's not gonna have the same gas tank going into, like, in this fight. So like, if it's gonna be another war, I feel like he's gonna fizzle out. So it really, I guess, it really just depends on the chin. But I just don't. I doubt that his chin is like
getting beaten up,
cooked.
This thing is beating my ass.
Just because he took so much time off, you know.
Yeah, both sides. I think it's interesting for both sides, just where they're both at in their careers. The injury, the bad knockout. Either way, I'm leaning towards the guy who's coming back from injury, young, still hungry, still wants to become a champion. Gaethje at least tasted the belt before. Even though it was interim, still either way, he became a champ before, had pay-per-view points. He had a taste of all that. He's fought for the belt twice, right? Charles Oliveira, Khabib, and who did he beat for the belt for the interim? Poirier?
No, Poirier won that fight.
For the belt?
Yeah, and then he knocked out Poirier in the BMF fight.
That's the BMF fight. So who did he get the interim? Oh, Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
Justin has a crazy career.
But, like, bro, Dustin came back from that knockout. That was almost worse, too. He took a fucking Justin Gaethje shin to the dome.
Yeah. Who did he beat after that, though?
Benoit.
Oh, yeah, the young up-and-comer.
That was crazy. I don't know. I could see something like that happening here.
Either way, it's a few days away. I'm hyped for this card. This card's gonna be nuts. Whole card is stacked. I'm leaning Fiziev, but I want Gaethje. My heart wants Gaethje to win. Gaethje's the homie. So it's always weird, like, to say, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to say, like, what I truly do think. Try not to be biased.
Bro, I feel like you're sleeping on the, like, coming off the couch for Fiziev.
I came off the couch before with the injury multiple times. Shoulder, neck, bicep. And some of those fights were my really good performances.
Yeah, but you, like, you were training like it was a fight coming up?
I mean, when you're doing PT, you kind of have to get yourself in shape. You know, at least for me, I'm not doing PT and drinking, getting smashed, and it slows down the recovery. You don't bounce back as well.
Okay. All right, maybe. I don't know. I guess that's the question. You know?
Yeah. Well, we find out soon enough. On next time on Dragon Ball Z.
How many of these fights do you want to break down?
I mean, we got Jalen Turner versus Bahamondes. Bahamondes is wrecking dudes right now.
On fire.
This is a dangerous fight for Jalen. Bahamondes is 6'3", Jalen is 6'3". Two tall, skinny guys.
Bro.
But dangerous.
Jalen was on a...
Oh, Bahamondes lost.
To who?
He lost to Ludovic Klein in 2023. I didn't even know that.
Oh, I thought you meant like recently.
I thought there was a guy, because he trains with in Chicago, right? With Bilal.
Does he?
Yeah, he trained.
Yeah.
I thought he was undefeated this whole time. But he's a dog. Either way, his last one, Manel Torres.
Yeah, he's a savage.
Finished him with strikes round one. Finished Christos Giago's head kick in round one. Lost to Klein by decision. Beat Trey Ogden by decision. He beat Ranzu by barber choke. And Roosevelt Roberts with the wheel kick in round three. Lost to John Medesi. Split decision. Yeah, it's going to be a fun fight. But Jalen
needs a win.
Jalen's whole career could have been so different had he not let Renato Moicano get up. And he hasn't trained. He hasn't fought since then. That was 2024, April last year, or UFC 300.
But dude, even Jalen Turner, he was like on such a he was like the guy, like one of those up and coming guys. Like I feel like at that time when he lost to
Frivola beat him, yo. How crazy is that?
Dude, Frivola's that guy. But
he Russell fucked the shit.
It was like there was like a up and coming class of lightweights in the rankings. It was like Jalen, Armin, Gamrot, Fazeev, Frivola, and then Jalen just like lost a few, and it just like derailed him. I feel.
Yeah, he beat Brad Riddell submission choke round one. After that, he was supposed to fight Hooker. He got canceled. Then he fought Gamrot. He lost by split, and that's a perennial contender. And then he lost to Dan Hooker by split in a crazy fight. And then he beat Bobby Green, who changed his name to King Green.
Bro, even like Brad Riddell, he fell off too. He was like one of those guys.
Yeah, I don't think Brad's fighting anymore.
No?
I saw him in Thailand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at least I haven't seen his name come up with anything. His fight with Thiago Moises got canceled in 2024, and he hasn't had anything booked since then. But he lost 3 in a row. It's tough. He fought Fazeev too.
I mean,
and Moicano.
Yeah, he fought good guys.
Once you get to the upper echelon, man, it just gets hard.
It's literally it's like natural selection.
That's why I hate when people say someone sucks. I'm like, based on what? Because they lost 3 out of 5 against the baddest guys. Like, what are we talking about? How do they suck? These are the killers of killers. Like, what?
Dude, it's so crazy. Like, once guys will be on such a streak, and then they get like top 10 in the rankings, and it just like some guys like never get past there because it just checks them. Like, they do kind of get fraud checked a little. Not fraud checked, but like.
You calling Jalen a fraud?
I'm not calling Jalen a fraud.
Oh, so
he could still win. But like some guys never, once they get to a certain spot in the rankings, they just never go past there.
Yeah.
They just like.
Unless you have a resurgence, career breakthrough. You got Amanda Lemos. I'm going Jalen Turner on this.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's the homie. That's my brother.
Do you think he's going to win?
Yeah, I think he's going to win. For some reason, I thought Bahamondes was on this crazy run. I had that in my head. Still a really good record in the UFC. 5 wins, 2 losses. Not easy to do.
Jalen's 14-8.
Crazy, right?
Lightweight's just stacked.
Yeah, it's a lot of good fights. Amanda Lemos is taking on Lucindo. That's going to be a good fight. I'm leaning towards Lemos in that. King Green taking on Ruffy. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Ruffy in that one, though.
Wasn't Charlie gonna fight him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about.
But both these guys keep their hands down.
Yeah, he's the one who kind of fights like Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting actually.
It's a really exciting fight.
Damn, what day is it? Tuesday.
Yeah. So, fuck. He just lost to Patty. I don't know. That's gonna be a fun fight. I think it's gonna be a stand-up battle.
Definitely.
Bobby's older, so much older now though. He's 38.
But he's kind of like aged well.
No, of course. But he's had so many fights, had so many ups and downs. Ruffy's the new kid on the block. If Ruffy beats Bobby, he's there. People are going to have to, like, he's going to get some top 15, top 10 guys next.
I mean, he's got the hype for sure. Like, I already see, like, on the internet, he's like,
Yeah.
people love him.
But if Bobby wins, Bobby's still him.
Bobby's the man if he wins.
He needs this. I know he beat Jim Miller on the 300 card, but then he lost to Patty Pimblett, the triangle choke in round 1. I don't think Ruffy's going for a submission. I think, if anything, any type of kryptonite for Bobby Green is probably submissions. His stand-up is still one of the best. This is going to be a back-and-forth fight. It's really hard for me to say. I feel like the new kid on the block is I'm going with the homie. I'm going with Bobby.
Really?
I'm going with Bobby.
You think Bobby's going to beat Ruffy?
I don't know if I think he's going to win. I'm just going with him because that's the homie.
Okay.
I want him to win.
Yes.
And I think it's close enough for me in my head where I don't know if Ruffy's that proven for me to go, yeah, for sure. Like, this is the homie, but I think this guy's just better. I don't think I'm there at that point with Ruffy yet. But if Ruffy beats him, then I could be like, okay. Bobby got hands, man.
Really good, yeah. I mean, he pieced the fuck out of Jim Miller.
That was bad. I felt bad for Jim in that. I was like, yeah, I could stop this fight at
Bro,
any moment.
UFC 300 was so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, they got another undefeated Japanese guy?
They're bringing these guys in, bro.
Finally catering to the market. He beat Hernandez. He beat Kamako. So where did he get signed? Road to UFC. Okay, so he won the Road to UFC twice. 2 fights on Road to UFC. And now he has 1 win in the actual UFC. He had 3 fights in the Road to UFC. And then he won 1 in the UFC decision. But Josh Van is a dog. Curtis Blades versus Razan Kuniev. I don't even know who this guy is.
I've never heard of this guy.
Me either. He's coming off Contenders.
Yo, they got a guy coming off Contenders fighting Curtis Blades on his first fight.
It's disrespect.
That's crazy. Why would he take that fight?
It's probably a situation where they just said, listen, this is what it is.
They must love this guy. Because that would literally put him in, like, the top 6.
He lost to Aspinall last.
That is crazy.
For a belt.
Who the fuck is this guy to get that shot? No offense.
Sometimes stuff never makes sense.
He was in the PFL for 1 fight. He was in Eagle FC. Hold on.
Oh, that Francis Marshall kid is fighting. The one that beat Dennis. He's fighting Marion Santos. That's going to be interesting.
He beat Dennis?
That was Dennis's last fight.
Oh, wow.
That really close one where Dennis won the round. He got dropped in round 2 and somehow lost round 3.
Dennis won that fight.
Like, this makes no sense.
That judging pissed me off.
Yeah, I thought Dennis should have won that 29-28, but whatever. There's some other good fights. Marion Santos versus Marshall. That's going to be a really good one, I think. John Castaneda versus Chris Gutierrez.
This should be a sick card.
And that's the opener. Gutierrez used to be ranked top 15. Him and his homeboy, Jonathan Martinez. They're both from the same gym.
Yeah. Wait, who did he fight? Chris Gutierrez. I'm looking.
He didn't look that great in one of them.
He fought Song Yadong.
Yeah.
In 2023.
It didn't really do much in the fight. And then he beat that kid Quang Lee.
Yo, he knocked out Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, with that knee.
Then lost to Pedro Munoz. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he's got
some legit experience, though.
Yeah, good experience. He's more of a guy on his bike the whole time, and he's just going to calf kick you to death, front kicks. If you step in, he's going to look for the knee. He doesn't really use his hands too much. Castaneda is more of a grappler, I feel. I think that's his strongest attribute, but we'll see if he actually decides to stand in the pocket and mix it up. But it's going to be hard to mix it up with a guy who's generally on his bike. Him, Yusuf, Zalal, all those guys are relatively from the same team. They use a lot of footwork, a lot of movement. So that's going to be interesting if Castaneda could even get close enough to box with him or to even wrestle with him without getting his legs chewed up. But either way, this whole card is fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun fights here. I like this main card. I'm interested to see this guy who's fighting Curtis. He must have hands or something.
Some shit
that they want to like get him up. But
yeah.
So you got Pereira.
I got Pereira. That's the main thing.
And Fazeev. Very interesting.
I remember Gaethje is the homie too. Hung out with him, played golf with him. But I think this one is. Obviously, Fazeev hasn't fought in a while, but I still think that's one I could still make a solid analysis on that. Just based on the first fight, because it was so close. It wasn't like Gaethje beat him by a mile, you know?
Yeah.
I can imagine Fazeev is like, I want to get that one back.
If Fazeev has been training, I think he'll win. If he hasn't been training,
I don't think he's crazy enough to just come off the couch and just say, I'm just going to fight with no training. I don't think anyone is really that crazy to do that as a fighter. It's like, I'm not going to just be sitting on the couch weeks after weeks, not training, and just jump into a big fight.
Doesn't he like live in Thailand too?
Something like that.
So that helps.
Yeah. Or I don't know. I don't know where he actually lives. But I know he was training at Tiger Muay Thai and stuff like that with Peter Yan and that type of thing.
Am I crazy for saying, like, doesn't he kind of fight like Peter Yan?
Yeah, they got a very similar style.
Yeah, like
very Muay Thai heavy. Big
that's
punches.
Gonna be a sick fight. I'm not doing shit Saturday. I'm sitting on the couch and watching this whole card, bro.
Word.
From front to back. I'm not making any plans.
Yeah.
So
I think that's it. I think that's pretty much everything.
Chill.
Oh, guys, we are live with the white rum. It is officially up on the website for sale. Remember, if you buy one bottle, they're going to hit you over the head for $9 in shipping. We eat some of the costs, but if you buy two bottles, the bottle's $29.99, you get free shipping, and it's a much better purchase for your deal.
Go get that.
Or a much better deal for something like that.
Bro.
It's a much better purchase.
That shit is the best rum I've ever had. This brown liquor right here, but the white stuff for what, $25?
$29.99.
Okay, there's no better deal for like the quality of alcohol you're getting at that price. Like I'm only bringing that when I go places. Like it's so good, and it's $29.99.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the workhorse.
Yeah.
So I think people are really gonna enjoy that one. I'm excited about that, man. It's been a long time coming. I spoke to Dana about possibly doing some sponsorship for the UFC, and
what'd he say?
It's probably the wrong time to ask, but it was the only time I really see the guy after Murat beat Umar. I was like, Dana, man, I would really love to get my rum company here, sponsor something, and I was like, I gave Hunter a gift. He loves it. I know you're not really drinking anymore. Blah blah blah. I was just like, I want to do business with you guys. And he's like, yeah, you got to talk to sponsors. I was like, I did, but you know the deal, man. These guys are hitting me over the head for a crazy bag to sponsor the event. It's a crazy bag. And it's just like, yo, dude, I'm basically fighting for free and then some. So I'm just like, it's got to make sense for me.
I mean, maybe it pays off. Like, I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I doubt it, though. I think there's a lot.
I don't know if it's going to ROI.
Can you say the number? I'll bleep it out. I promise.
No. I'll say it off.
You whatever it is, I'm assuming it's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It's a lot.
Yeah. That money could be deployed a lot smarter, like with Facebook ads and just like organic stuff. Like that dollar per view.
It'd be just badass to fight on top of my logo one day. That'd be pretty sick.
That would be dope. But like you gotta be smart about it.
Yeah. I need the funds.
Yeah.
I need the funds first.
So wait, when you said it's a crazy bag, what did he say?
And then he was just like, the liquor business is a tough one. He's like, I'm not doing the liquor business anymore.
He's out of Howlerhead?
They're done.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if he's made a formal announcement though, but they're not really doing anything. I think they sold it.
Yeah, I don't know if banana whiskey was my.
I'm curious.
That wouldn't have been my choice.
I'm
honestly.
curious if they actually did any tastings, because I'm sure I'm like, yo, Dana, you are Dana White.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could have had multiple different tasting profiles come your way, and this is the one you chose. Is crazy.
Yeah, like of all things. I mean, maybe he was just thinking like, there's nothing like this. Like we could break through. Like
I'm saying they brought him one, and maybe a bunch of different ones. He took a sip and was just like, yeah, that's it. That's fine.
I'm sure they threw a crazy bag at him too. It wasn't like how you were like crafting the rum, basically. Like,
yeah, heavily involved with the tasting profile.
Yeah, you like.
We put work into this shit,
Bro.
And guys, I don't drink all the time. This is not. I don't drink all the time. Give me a freaking break. I don't have a fight coming up. I drink in my training camps. I've been doing this since the beginning, almost the beginning of my career. Not during the amateurs because I was very superstitious. I listened to Ali and Frazier and all these guys. Tyson, don't drink, no sex.
Would you do that? No sex?
That was what I did in the very beginning.
No sex?
Yeah, the whole night.
What was that like for you?
Not great. It's actually not great at all. I do not recommend.
I feel like for you that was probably very hard.
Very hard. It was young, full of cum, you know.
Yo.
But
we've already had that talk.
After I met John, this is actually a good story. After I met John Jones in college, and after I realized he was fighting and competing in jiu-jitsu stuff and things like that, tournaments, and I reached out to him on MySpace at the time, and he had me come down to the gym. Ever since I started training with him, I took it die hard. Like, it was like religion. It was like, wasn't drinking, taking my fights, going cold turkey with everything. And then I ran to John at Mooney's at the time, down in the Ithaca Commons. And we were at the bar. I think he had a fight like a week or two later, maybe that week or the following weekend. I was like 5 or 6 weeks out from a fight. John Jones comes in. Pow, 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 pow. He's having a good time. He's with his goonies. And he's buying shots for like damn near the whole bar. All the girls, of course. Like, I'm not saying he was like seducing them or anything, but he was just like being friendly with everybody. Of course, the girls know who he is.
Yeah.
He's John Jones.
Yeah.
So he's like, you want a shot? You want a shot? He's taking care of the bar.
Wow.
He's in the UFC at this point. I think he's maybe 2 or 3-0 at this time. And he comes over. I see him. He's like, yo, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. We shake hands, hug, whatever. Yo, my man, how's everything? He's like, you want a shot? And I was like, nah, I got a fight in 5.5 weeks. And then he was just kind of like, okay, took the shot. And I'm just like, wait, do I have something wrong here? I'm very confused on what's happening. You're in the UFC. I'm not in the UFC. I'm trying to get there. I'm looking at you as the role model and the example. I'm thinking that this is what he's doing. No, it's not. It's not.
So you started drinking again because like you saw John Jones
Yes.
was so successful despite
Yes.
his partying? Wow.
And because a lot of people compared us early on in my career, there was like articles like, this is the next John Jones. Dude, when I was fighting in my amateur career, I was doing crazy ass shit. I was doing jumping kicks. I was doing spinning back fists, back kicks, wheel kicks. I was just throwing shit that I saw on YouTube. And I was just fighting, very freestyle oriented, just like a free spirit, just like whatever happens. Worst case scenario, I take your ass down. But I was a wild card.
That was before you got to law?
That was before, I was upstate New York training while I was finishing my degree at SUNY Cortland. And then as soon as I got my degree, I went back home. And then I started experimenting with the gyms, interviewing the coaches, and seeing where I wanted to train. But then when I saw John doing all that, I was like, okay. After that fight, the next camp, I go, let me have a drink. 7 weeks out. Okay, nothing happened. Like I partied a little bit, not like getting bombed, but I partied a little bit, had a couple of drinks. And I was like, okay, let me try 5 weeks out. Fine training, it didn't affect my training, whatever. I was also 21.
That's crazy.
And then I got closer to 3 weeks and then 2 weeks. And then at that point, I'm like, yo, this is all mental. Like, if you think it's bad, it's going to be bad. And it's going to be in the back of your mind. But if you think it's going to help you or make you feel better in training or live better in the sense of, like, I can get through the training week or the fight camp if I can have a little bit of my vice versus, someone that's like, oh, I got to do this and do all this, be embedded this time. I think it's just different for everybody.
Yeah, it just wears you, like, that could wear you down more.
Yeah, like mentally.
Yeah.
Like if you're more stressed out because it's like, damn, I'm missing out on all the fun, where I'm like, I can still partake and have fun with my career. I remember talking to Mighty Mouse about this, and then I was like, yeah, I start to realize, like, it is what you make it. So that's why I drink in training camps. And I only drink when I'm in shape. When I'm in shape and I've had a really good sparring session, that's like my breakthrough moment where I'm like, okay, I earned my nightcap, my 1 or 2 nightcaps. And I think I had a pretty damn good career. So I was like, yo,
I mean,
don't be judging me.
Bro, you had a good balance.
Yeah, don't be telling me how to live my life as a professional athlete as if you know. Because this is people are commenting and telling as if they know. I know they have the I keep forgetting these catchphrases. I know they have
You okay up there?
I don't know.
A lot of hits to the head. Starting to add up.
Not a lot lately. I know they have goodwill in mind, I guess. They just want to see me do good and give myself the best chance I can to potentially get back to a title shot, right? So I understand that, but I'm also like, well, I've been doing this my whole career. Albeit now I'm 35, but I think my performances are still pretty damn good. If they were bad performances, I could be like, yo, maybe something needs to change. There's some type of shit that's not working out anymore. But I think I've been in a pretty good spot, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I always said if I couldn't eat the stuff that I was able to eat when I was cutting down to 35, I would just retire because it's not worth the strain of not having anything at all. Like I like pizza, I like my Jamaican food, but I would balance it out where I was like, okay, if I have this, I know I got to work this hard to lose the weight.
Yeah.
And that wasn't always fun, but I got the job done. I made the weight, went on a title run, went on a crazy run, crazy win streak, one of the longest win streaks in bantamweight history, and then defended the most in bantamweight history. So it's like,
so maybe you should just drink and have hella sex when you're in fight camp. Like maybe they got it. Maybe that's the key. I mean, I'm starting to see a pattern here. You, Connor, John Jones.
I still can't get over Connor and Chandler. Connor's like this on the boat in the club drinking. And then Chandler's over here doing med ball slams and going ape shit.
That's like, honestly hilarious.
Like one guy's really training and the other guy's, woo, I'm
Chandler,
the man.
Bro.
Yeah, but I also look at like the Thai guys. These guys smoke ciggies and they drink beer and get smashed, and then they go out there and whoop ass.
Like Spartans and Romans, like they would drink like half a pint of like kind of like rum every day, because like water at the time, it was like really like hard to clean water, so it would just be full of like it would make people sick, so people would just drink wine and
ale
and rum and ale, yeah, and like because alcohol would kill the bacteria,
like the Vikings.
Yeah, like all they would drink, they would just drink fucking and like
yeah, I watched the show Vikings. We just finished it. We watched Valhalla first. We should have watched Vikings first. I didn't even know that was the prequel. And all they would drink was ale. They have me, you want some ale? You want some ale? Skull, skull, skull.
Honestly, is that show good?
I liked it. It's kind of like Game of Thrones.
Which one?
In a different way.
So watch Vikings first?
Vikings first.
Then Valhalla?
The Valhalla then talks about... Valhalla's like 100 years later.
Okay.
So I'm kind of debating if I want to watch it over again. Because now I watched episode 1 last night and I'm like, damn, now these names make sense to me because I know who they're talking about. I'm like, damn, that was such a badass guy.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if I'm going to watch the whole... That's a long investment again. But
I literally watched Sopranos when I moved here in like, it was like in March or something. Like I started watching it, and like since then, that was like 2.5 years ago. Since then, I've been watching it again and again and again nonstop. I took a break to watch Game of Thrones and then got right back to Sopranos, and I've watched it like 3 times since then. Probably watched through like from season 1 to season 7, like, or 6B, like 8 times.
Is it really that good?
You know what it is, bro? It's such a good show to watch like at the end of the day, because it's not like super exciting. It's more just about like the stuff that's going on in the characters' lives, but it's like with the mafia spin. But it's like very like I get something new out of it every single time.
How long are the episodes?
Like 40 minutes to an hour.
Maybe me and Becca will watch that.
It's definitely like, so the thing about Sopranos is like before Sopranos, like it completely.
Watch Top Boy.
Okay.
London gang shit.
I'll check it out. The thing is, it's not really like so much in like, it's so much character driven. Like it's like you get more invested in like the little shit going on in the characters' lives versus like the story, like the gangster storylines. You know, like that's not as much a part of it. It's a lot slower than like the stuff on TV today. But like Sopranos was the first show that was like cinematic and like had like interesting character arcs. It was like it changed TV forever, and then you kind of had Breaking Bad come out right after Sopranos, and now there's like Game of Thrones, like all these big shows where they're like every episode is a movie.
Yeah.
That was like not really as much a thing. It was episodes were more formulaic. It was like sitcoms or like detective shows and like you know, like it wasn't like so creative. But like Sopranos was the first show that was like, you know, like a movie every episode, and then like now TV is more popular than like than films.
Yeah.
And that's where the real art is being done, is in like shows. Like movies, I don't know if you've noticed, but they're like formulaic now.
Oh, did you watch the movie we did? Me, Weidman, Dean Thomas?
No, I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, it's called
Where is it?
It's called Grace Point. It's on Amazon.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Amazon Prime and I think Apple TV or something like that. But I was actually impressed. It was good for Rory's first movie. There were some parts that I thought he could have edited better to make it more fast paced. But the storyline is good, and it's actually a pretty good cast. Rob Lowe's son is in it, John Lowe.
Okay.
He's a cool dude. I got to hang out with him a little bit, and all in all, I think just the cast was just good.
Would you like do it again?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You liked it?
That was my second movie. That was my first movie. My second movie actually came out before that. The second movie is called Impulse. Me and my cousin are in the second movie, Impulse.
Which cousin?
Anthony.
Oh, nice. Oh,
yeah.
shit, nice.
And we just got this last minute gig. They needed somebody because my boy couldn't go anymore, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll go. Flew out to L.A. like the next day from New York.
Nice.
And I had a couple of good speaking lines. This one I got some speaking lines as well in Grace Point, and he's potentially thinking about doing something with me, like a long term thing, like an actual. I'm like, yo, bro,
like a show.
Yeah, I'm like, if you make this happen, you are the man,
bro. So, I have a question. So, are you like a part of a union for an act?
I'm in SAG. Yeah.
Okay, so is there like a minimum day rate that you get as like a start out actor?
Minimum is whatever you guys negotiate.
Okay, so there's no
like indie film's an indie film. Like I didn't get paid for that. I didn't want to get paid for that. I'm helping him out. He was helping me out. Okay. I'm getting film credits. I'm getting actual acting lines.
Yeah.
So that was actually big for me. So I was happy about that.
So there's no minimum with being in the union.
I mean, there's the budget. I think there is a minimum. Like for me, I could go like I'm in SAG. So we're supposed to get paid X. But obviously, it's an indie film. There's a budget. It's something for me to decide if I want to do it or not.
Gotcha.
But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff, man. So
that's cool. Yeah, but I would check out Sopranos, but it's just don't expect it to be like the most exciting shit you've ever seen. Like if you need like constant action or like intensity, that's not the show for you. But if you like watching if you like getting deep into characters and stuff and like psychology, I think it's a great show. It's my favorite show.
I could talk TV shows and movies for days. With the ones I've actually watched though. But all right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. We are back in the States, as I said, so we'll be doing a lot more content and breaking down some fights and trying to get some fun interviews. We're gonna interview Pumi Nakuda, who's 9-0 now on the regional circuit. He's a flyweight. Just won his fight at LFA. Big fight. It was supposed to be for title, but he missed weight, unfortunately. My man drank half a gallon of water the day before the weight cut. I'm like, that's not how water loading works, my brother.
That's so crazy.
I had to roast him today about that. I was like, yo, dude, whoever told you that botched your whole shit because that's not how it works. But with that said, We're gonna try to do some like interview stuff. I would rather have someone in studio because I just think it's a better feel and vibe in
For
the conversation.
interview?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna test it out and see if I like that format. I just don't really like talking to people. But Pumi's the homie. I like just talking fights and bullshit
you're
about the
not
fight.
good at like talking to new people.
Nah, I'm not. I'm not. I don't really open up.
Like, bro, I worked for you for like 6 months before we had like a good little rapport going. Like,
I don't know, man. I'm from New York. It's just different. It's just like, what do you want? Go fuck yourself.
I'm from Chicago. We're mad nice, like off rip. Like,
but
so.
All right, guys. Peace and love. Be safe. Remember, funkharborspirits.com. Go check it out. Thank you guys for the support on this new endeavor. Appreciate all the sales that have been coming in. Hopefully, we could do some promo stuff and get some signed bottles in some of these locations. We're going to be doing something at Lee's discount liquor stores here in Vegas at some point. We'll keep you guys posted about that. And hopefully some stuff in New York as well. Until then, keep it funky. Peace.